back to the Manifested Podcast with Kathleen Cameron. Today, I am going to give you my top manifestation tips. So little things that I've learned along the way that I think are really, really important and really valuable in your manifestation journey. So it doesn't matter what you want to manifest. It doesn't matter what your goals are, what your dreams are. These tips will assist you and support you in your manifestation journey going forward. So as I sit back and I reflect, there is one way of existing that I choose to do that I think is so important, and if you chose this way, would make you literally unstoppable. So I do not take no for an answer. So there is a vibration in that, but there is also an understanding that I will get what I want. And I get what I want in a way that it helps the masses. So this isn't me being selfish. This isn't me wanting to just benefit myself and have everything that I ever want. It's wanting something that will help the world. And so the more I am open to receive, the more my business grows, the more people I help, the bigger the impact I make on collective consciousness. So this thing that I desire helps the greater good, and therefore I forever know that I will get it as long as I don't take no for an answer. So there are things that I want that somebody will tell me, no, Kathleen, you can't have that. And I say, I think I can. There are experiences in my life where the doctors might say, no, this health issue is yours now, and I'm giving you this diagnosis, and I will say, no, I'm not taking that answer. There are times in my life where I didn't get an opportunity that I wanted, and instead of dwelling in the no, I said, you know what, well, I think it's going to come about a different way. And so this energy of not taking no for an answer is a really, really beautiful one. And what you're actually doing in that situation is you're being persistent, and you are holding the image of what you desire no matter what. I believe that I really developed this in the beginning of my manifestation learning journey when Bob Proctor used to have me read the persistence chapter in Think and Grow Rich. He had me read it with my accountability partner every single day for 30 days. And that chapter really honed in on the idea of persisting in what you want no matter what. So persistence is staying the course towards the realization of what you want, no matter what other people tell you. And in life, we've seen this all the time. People that have these rags to riches stories, they often tell the story about how the record label said no 75 times, but they continued anyways. You know, Jamie Kern-Lima, I just saw her speak at a gala in Los Angeles, and she said how all the big beauty stores said no to her and to her brand over and over and over and over again. But yet now she's in every single one of those stores. And cosmetics is in every single one of those stores. So it's this idea that persisting in the image of what you desire will inevitably get you the desire that you want. Failure only happens when you give up. So to me, it's like failure happens when you take the no as the answer. And so it doesn't mean I'm going to say to you, to your face, the person telling me no, you're wrong, I'm not taking your no. No, no. I'm just going to go, okay, and move on to somewhere else and try again and keep going and keep persisting. It's knowing that the outcome is inevitable for the realization of what you want. But so many of us get distracted by those temporary no's. We get distracted by the person that doesn't see our vision, the person that doesn't believe yet. And when you're really doing something that nobody else has done before, when you're a first in your industry, when you're trailblazing, it's going to take time for people to catch on. I remember when I started teaching manifestation 3.5 years ago, nobody really knew what it meant. Like, I used to get asked all the time, what's manifestation? What's law of attraction? What do you mean? Now it's more commonplace. Now it's more acceptable. People understand. I actually have been on a lot of TV shows, a lot of podcasts over the past 3 years. And I have had so many people say to me, don't talk about manifesting money. Don't use the word manifestation. Don't talk about law of attraction. They wanted me to edit myself to fit into like a common belief system. They didn't want it to be too woo-woo, right? I was just on breakfast television in Toronto, and they let me talk about the amount of money I'd made, the $25 million. They let me talk about law of attraction. They were okay with me discussing everything, how life-changing this material is. And that was so much progression. But it's because I didn't take no for an answer. I persisted in the pursuit of what I desire. My second biggest manifestation tip for you is the importance of disciplining your thinking. So many people are really good at studying, watching videos. They might be disciplined in their business and taking action. They might have a really great morning routine that they follow to the T. They might be good at cleaning their house and keeping things organized and have a great office and all of the things. But the most important thing for you to discipline is your own thinking. If you are thinking thoughts of lack and limitation, you create lack and limitation in your life. If you are creating thoughts of unworthiness and self-deprecation, you're literally attracting people that aren't worthy of you in your life. You're literally going to attract people that maybe don't treat you the best or maybe criticize you because you're criticizing yourself. So the best thing and the most important thing that you can do is discipline the thoughts that are going through your mind every single day. And that starts with becoming an observer of your thinking. I didn't even know what this was. I didn't even pay attention. I could tell you that when I laid in bed at night, my mind would race about everything that I had to do. And I would think about the fight I got in with my dad that morning, or I would think about my best friend that's not returning my call. Is she mad at me? I would tell you that that's what my thoughts were. But I couldn't tell you the dominant thought patterns that were going through all day long. I couldn't tell you why I was thinking those things or where they came from. So introspection. Okay, so going within and asking yourself questions is one of the most important things that you can do, is to ask yourself, why did I just have that thought? What are the thoughts that I have? How can I notice and observe the thinking? And so that will require you to slow down a little bit. Because if you're somebody that's so busy, you're running around and you're going to work and you're dropping your kids off and you're taking them to hockey and you're taking them to dance and then you're going to this and then you're doing the laundry, you're not allowing yourself time to observe the thoughts that are going through your mind. And so take 5 minutes a day to think about what you thought about. I noticed the first time for me that I became very, very aware of my thinking when I started to listen was in front of the mirror. So when I would be in front of that mirror, maybe when I got out of the shower and I'm brushing my hair or something like that, I started to notice what I thought about me in that mirror. I started to notice the thoughts of, oh, you look really gross, or you're too big, or look at how old you're getting, look at the wrinkles, look at your big butt, oh, you need a tan, blah, 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 blah. And so I literally paid attention to what I thought about myself in front of that mirror. The other time that was really powerful too is when I was about to do something I'd never done before. What were the thoughts in my mind? And I noticed the thoughts were don't mess this up. Oh no, you're so nervous. Oh, you're so scared. Oh, what if your throat clogs up? Or, oh, what if nobody comes onto the live video? And what if this and what if that? Now, my thinking, right before I'm about to do something I've never done before, you're so strong, Kathleen. You're so powerful. You can do this. You speak clearly and freely, and people love to listen to hear what you have to say. The discomfort is making you stronger. You're good at this. You're meant for this. You're made for this. And I tell myself a different story, but I had to discipline my thinking. So first, observe it. Pay attention to what you think. What do you think about you? What do you think about other people? What do you think about this life? What do you think about manifestation? What do you think about what I'm telling you? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think it could be true? What are the thoughts that are dominantly going through you? And yes, they're automatic, but they're controllable. And that's the biggest thing. If you believe you can't control your thoughts, my mind is racing, I can't control it, that is a belief that you are going to nurture and you're going to experience. So tell yourself you can. I am aware of my thoughts and I control them daily. I'm aware of my thoughts and I control them daily. It's a beautiful way to start to control some of the thoughts that are running through your mind. And then we create new ones. I remember when I was filming my millionaire program, I had already recorded a version of the millionaire program and people were taking it and they were achieving quantum leaps in their life. It was so beautiful, but I really wanted to up-level it. It was something I filmed at home in my office, pressing the buttons myself, edited it all. And I wanted it to be professional. I was ready to step into a different level of version of myself. And I recorded it in a professional studio. And they built me a beautiful set and it was phenomenal. And right before I was about to get in there, I had hair and makeup come. I had wardrobe all ready to go for it, a set for myself. And then I walked in and there was 2 camera guys, 2 sound guys, a producer, and then my friend was there, and then another person was there, and all these people were sitting there watching me, eyes, all the lights on this desk where I was supposed to sit. And in that moment, I started to freak out inside. I started to go, what if I don't know what to say? And what if this? And I noticed it. I noticed it within my body. I could feel it. And I said, I'll be right back, guys. I got to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and I stood there in front of the mirror and I did my superwoman poses and I told myself a new story. You are powerful, Kathleen. You know exactly what to say. You know exactly what is in this lesson. Everybody's going to be so impressed by what you have to say. You are confident. You are sure of yourself. You are a powerful woman and a powerful speaker. And I gave myself a pep talk. And that has been one of the most important parts of my journey, is to take the discomfort that is associated with life and talk myself up into it. So I'm my own best cheerleader, essentially. So how would you speak to your best friend? How would you speak to your daughter? What would you tell your mom if she was nervous about something? What would you say about your mom's body? What would you say about your daughter when she's scared about a presentation she's about to do? Take that way of thinking and give it to yourself instead of giving it to others. Another really amazing manifestation tip and trick is to always go to what you would love. So there's multiple situations potentially going on here. So you might be observing in your 3D physical world that your manifestation is not present. What's really happening there is that you're not observing it. So you can't see it. But it doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean it's not on its way. And it doesn't mean the universe isn't aligning to give it to you. It's just that you can't see it in the 3D physical world right now. And so what happens is a lot of people will look for it, will not see it, and then will give up on their manifestation. And so what ends up happening then is you focus on what you observe, that it's not there. And you start to give attention to the idea that it's not there. You start to worry about why it's not there. What did I do wrong? Why is my manifestation not here yet? I get this question all the time. I'm manifesting XYZ, but it's not here yet. What did I do wrong? Believing it's not here is what you're doing wrong. Always go to what you would love. So I'm not observing it yet, but I still want it. I still believe that it's done. So I am going to patiently be in joyful expectation of what I would love. So many times people send me messages and they'll say, Kathleen, my husband, he's so negative. He has a money paradigm and he's so negative. He's complaining about things all the time. And I'll say, well, how would you love him to be? And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, but how would you like him to be? All I'm getting you to do is stop complaining about how he is and shift over to how you'd like him to be. So what'll happen when you start to say, well, I'd like him to not be so negative and I'd like him to be happier and I'd like him to express love to me more often and I'd like him to be okay with spending a little bit of money here and there and I'd like him to come home from work and be excited to see me. I'll say, okay, visualize that. Experience that. Feel what it would be like to have that. And what you will find is you will start to notice that all along he's been like that in some way. But because you've been focused on the negative, you only see the negative. So that person that you think is so negative and so nasty is actually really loving and really caring and really supportive and helps you in so many different ways. But you just don't see it because you're focused on what you have instead of what you would love. And it's the same thing with manifesting things. The absence of the thing to you means that it's not possible. When all you have to do is go to what you would love. What is the experience that you would love to have? The last manifestation tip that I'm going to talk about is going to be about ignoring your circumstances. And many people will believe that this is very hard to do. But what I'm actually asking you to do is to stop giving the meaning to your observed world that you keep giving it. Okay? So it's not to ignore the fact that life is what it is, but to stop making it mean something. So it is what it is, but it's not good or bad. It just is. So I listened to a beautiful training from Neil Donald Walsh. He has one of my favorite books, Happier Than God, but this was a video training that I was watching. And he said something. He said, everything that happens in your life is simply a circumstance. It's simply an event. It's a thing that's happening, and it's not good or bad. But our thoughts about the thing make it good or bad. The meaning we give it makes it good or bad. And based on how you see yourself will determine if you think something is good or bad. And so this is why you and I can watch the exact same movie and you love it and I hate it. This is why it's pouring rain outside and I'm so frustrated and mad because I wanted to go for a walk and I can't go for my walk now and I'm sad about it, and the farmer is jumping for joy seeing rain on his crops that he hasn't had in weeks. Same thing, it's raining. Same movie. 2 different perceptions and 2 completely different meanings of that thing. So you might say then, okay, well, I haven't achieved success in my business yet. I've been working at this business for 5 years and I haven't achieved it. And so I'm a failure. I failed at my business. But somebody else might say, wow, you know what? It's been 5 years. I have learned so much. I have grown. I'm so grateful that I've persisted for 5 years. I'm ready to really make this happen. Let's go. Now it's time. I've got enough experience. I've got enough years under my belt. I've got a great team. I've got a solid foundation. Let's go make this business happen. Same experience, 5 years in business, haven't reached your goal yet. 2 different perspectives, 2 different meanings. So when I say to remain neutral to your circumstances, that's what I'm saying. Stop giving your life the meaning that you're giving it that is making it intolerable, that is making you displeased, that is making the experience of your life a negative one. There is good in your life. You just need to find it. But the key to manifestation is to stay focused on what you would love instead of what you see. And so this example, this tip is to ignore your senses. They do not mean it's not happening. It does not mean you aren't successful. It doesn't mean you aren't what you desire to be. Devon Franklin, at the gala that I was at a few weeks ago, he says, just because you haven't been given the opportunity doesn't mean you don't have the identity. So I think about the Shawn Mendes documentary on Netflix, I think it was on, from Toronto. It was all about how he manifested selling out the Rogers Centre. Now, they didn't say that. They didn't advertise that it's a manifestation documentary. But to me, that's all it was. This young kid, just like everybody else, 16-year-old, his friends are all playing basketball, playing out in the park, and he's at home writing music, playing on his guitar, practicing for when he sells out the Rogers Centre. He chose to believe something outside of what his world would have told him. His world would have told him, you're an average kid going to an average school from Toronto, Ontario. Like, why do you think you're going to be a superstar? Why did he become a superstar? Because he believed he would. Because he wrote down he would sell at the Rogers Centre. And he did, and the whole documentary is about that. So he always held the identity of a superstar instead of the identity of an average, everyday kid that was going to go get an average, everyday job that was going to hopefully make $100,000 a year and create success in their life. So just because you haven't been given the opportunity yet doesn't mean you don't hold the identity. Hold the identity, the opportunity comes. But if you never hold the identity, you will never get the opportunity that you desire to become the version of you that you knew was always there within you. So manifestation for me has always been fun. And the last thing that I will say to you is to take it less seriously. So the more serious something is to us, the more we put it up on a pedestal, the more importance we give it, the more stressed we will get when it's not there, the more pressure we put on ourselves to make it happen. And then what happens is you are not touching it lightly, but you are grasping it with a firm hold. So manifestation is something that can be fun. It's something that can be light. It's something that can be joyful. And so I choose to manifest things in an energy of fun. So you know what? I would love to be on a cover of a magazine. You know what? I'd love to be on this TV show. You know what? I'd love to go here. I'd love to go there. I'd love to manifest this. I'd love to manifest that. But I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm not going to get stressed if it doesn't happen to me fast enough or for me, or if it doesn't come. I'm not going to get stressed if this person tells me no, because why? I don't take no for an answer, so I know it's eventually going to come. So I really love being in this light, fun energy, and touching your manifestations lightly is probably going to be the best way for you to manifest them the fastest. So stop taking yourself so serious. Allow yourself to have some fun. Bring some joy into your life and allow yourself to love manifestation, because you're manifesting anyways. So we're just going to change what it is that you're manifesting. I hope that this fun little example from my own personal life and my own tips was helpful to you today, and I'm so grateful that you're listening. So with gratitude, Kathleen, and remember, the limit does not exist.